Hey, free thinkers. In one of my posts, somebody answered and said that um, I'm not really a free thinker because on Obama 8 years, the country flourished. Did it really flourish? I watch a lot of these young men at the corners selling drugs with no vision in sight for them to do anything else but that. Obama is from Chicago, and I did not see him pulling up the presidential motorcade to go speak to any of these youths. And I'm not saying Donald Trump did it either. But when you was talking about you want to talk to the brothers, these were the young men you had 8 years to go talk to, and nobody did anything to talk to them. Me, myself, I have pulled so many postings from the city website and walked onto the end of the block and spoke to these young men and give it to them. You know, it's funny because the neighborhood was so terrified of seeing these young men down the block, but it's kind of messed up because they're all following one person, right? The one person with the nice car and all the little young girls with showing off their skin to get the one guy attention, and that's what everybody see because they want these women. I mentored some of these young men, and when I asked them what are their goals, some of their goals is the girl down the block that they wanted, the girl down the block. So I'm saying to them, you guys are willing to work on yourselves to get what you want and then give it away to somebody who didn't even earn it. Listen to yourselves. So I teach them and mentor them in building themselves and building their career. Get these city jobs. You know, you guys are really not doing anything right now. You know, invest in the 401k and the Roth IRA, and in 35 years, you're guaranteed to walk away with $2.2 million. That's investing in yourself. Because you see, there is no program set up by the Democrats for that. The program set up for the Democrats, from the Democrats, is that they have a program for young women, the child care credit for $2,500 a child. So what's the incentive for these young women to not have more children and more children? That's not an incentive. That's keeping a class of people at bay. Now imagine if they cut out some of those social programs, right, and invest in the young black men or young men, period. But from where I'm living, it's more young black men. Imagine if they have classes where, you know, the government, the mayor, the councilman, whoever, the governors, whoever, put programs in place where you come into the communities, right, and offer these young men jobs, right? Show them how to fill out their resumes. And you know what? The governor of New York said that she was in the Bronx, and a lot of these young black kids don't know how to use a computer or don't even have computers. She's an idiot. Okay? When I went to the corner and gave these young men the posting right there in front of me, I didn't even know that, you know, for my age, whatever website or whatever, they just click, upload this, download this, push this over, bring this over, upload, boom, it's gone. So for them to think that these young men and young women are that stupid tells you how behind they are. But they're very, very, very interested in contraceptive, my body, those things. But they have nothing in place to show these young men, instead of running away from their responsibility, okay, is to stand up to their responsibility. This has been going on for a very long time now, that we not have been teaching these young men to run to their responsibility instead of run away from their responsibility. And they're running away from it because they have no jobs, they have no place to stay. Now that we're going to get rid of all these migrants, right? Some of those hotels and these buildings that went up overnight. I've driven on certain places that you see the metal structure one day, and 4 days later it's fully occupied. Once all these people are out of here, the veterans should get first preferences. I don't understand how people lie to people and we go to war, and then these veterans come back and they have no place to live. They're scrounging for life. Make sure these veterans get into those apartments. We know you have money because you were giving out $200,000 to $300,000 vouchers for people to go buy homes. So we know the money's there, right? So take those vouchers and give to these young men and the veterans and teach these young men how to be fathers instead of teaching them how to run away from their responsibility. Because this is all psychological, right? This is something that you guys put in place. Because now, since they can't pay, they don't know how to pay their child support. Some of them, you have the social security numbers. They'll never have the credit needed to buy a home. You guys are the devil, you know. They'll never have the line of credit they need to buy a home. So they're going to always depend on the government. And the women are going to always depend on the government because the government says that he can't be there. So he can't raise his children. He has no voice to raise his children. But it's not that you people don't know this. You people know from the 4th grade what these young men are going to turn out to be. And you guys have the ability to change this, but instead you guys will build prison. These kids are out here killing themselves for pennies. These music producers and labels are actually insuring these rappers so when they die, they get the money. We have turned our children into a wasteland because we're not investing in them. But we had the first black president and he didn't invest in any of these young men. He didn't go to the block and speak to any of these young men. So you can't come off your high horse and then come talk to us and tell us what we're supposed to be doing when you didn't do it. But we understand that you're beholden to the corporation and what the corporation says what you guys do. We know the president is just a figurehead. You guys don't really run anything. Your interest is someplace else. Your interest is what the corporation tell you to do. Or show you what to do. You won't protect our borders, but you're protecting somebody else's border. You have no money to feed the people here, but you're sending billions away to feed other people. Make that make sense to Americans. Now, in 4 years, if President Trump doesn't deliver, which I think he will deliver, they will put somebody else in there. That's what J.D. Vance is there for. But I want you black Americans to understand, don't go back to the old way of life. They were never helping. Never. So don't sell your vote short. If you don't like what this president has done in 4 years, don't get scared. Don't get terrified. Don't let the Democrats scare you into tell, oh, the country's going to explode. This is going to happen. It's not going to, none of that stuff is going to happen. None of that stuff is going to happen. But what we need the government to step in and do is stay the hell out of our way and let free market reign. The help we need is to teach these young men how to do for themselves. The houses that these millionaires live in, somebody got to lay the bricks. Somebody got to do the carpentry work. Somebody got to do electrical work. Somebody got to do the plumbing work. That will never go out of business. But the fact that you guys import migrants in here to do it, instead of showing our people here, our Americans, teach these young men how to do this. You're telling them to bring their guns in, but what? Giving them $300. What's the initiative and an incentive for me giving up my gun? I'll give you a job making $60,000 a year if you bring your gun in. I'll give you a place to live with your family so that you don't have to be on the corner selling with guns, selling drugs. Imagine we can implement that, right? Imagine we go and go speak to these young men and tell them, listen, you guys don't have to be in you see that building right there we're putting up? There's over 400 apartments there. All we need for you guys to do is turn in your guns, okay? We're going to give you jobs so that you could have your family living in those buildings. We'll even allow you guys to become cops so you can protect your own neighborhoods. Imagine if we think like that, America. Instead of investing in other countries, other race of people and not ours. I don't want to hear we can't do it because we watch the money leave the country to go help others. I don't want to hear that you can't secure the border when I watch you secure other countries' border, but not ours. America, we got to do better than this. We have to. We have to now invest in the young people in this country. They are our future. But you see, if everybody's fighting for the same thing, they're going to kill each other because they're fighting for the same thing. Everybody is not going to be a rapper. Everybody's not going to be an athlete. Everybody's not going to be a musician. That's not what everybody's going to become. But everybody, if they have a job and a place to live and take care of their family, that we could do. That we can accomplish as Americans. For our people, for our citizens. But the fact that now we know that you guys are giving out $300,000 vouchers for people to come in here and buy homes, and you were giving people $10,000 vouchers to go to the store and buy stuff while Americans are here suffering. Yeah, that part we're talking about. And I hope the new president that comes in, don't eliminate that program, but take that program and advance it to help Americans. Help veterans who are on the streets asking for money. And listen, you could tell if you're a veteran because once you see their name and they go to the VA, you know it's a veteran. Now, do we have people that are saying that they are the imposters? Of course they are. Of course they are. Every disaster we have people show up saying that they're contractors and they're not contractors, and homeowners sign over everything to them. Recently, we had a issue with our boiler because it's becoming winter now in New York. And a guy came in and told, my wife met some guy at the Home Depot, and he said it's $500 for him to come in to service the boiler and hand her a card. We called the plumber who put the boiler in, and it was $194 to put it in. See what I mean? There's scams everywhere. But this can't be a scam in investing in the youth of America. When we could get them off the street corners. When we could show them that we really believe in you. Because you see, 99.9% of them are just following the 1%. But if you show them that they don't have to be followers, they could lead their own household. They can. They just need the chance and the opportunity to do that. I have 2 sons, and I'm proud of them because I watch them every day get up and go to work for their family. Because they see their dad do it. A lot of these young men, their fathers are in jail. Some of them went to jail and saw their father in jail. That's all they know. But at some point, we have to understand that the investment that we're making has to be a good investment for the youth. We have to let these young women know that the plan can be to have a whole bunch of children so you can get a tax credit of $2,500 per child. People see, even myself as a black man, see some of these women coming on the block, and I refuse to talk to them. By the way how they look, the way how they dress, the way how they act. We have to do better. Social media have made the standard of what a woman should look like. You see 30-year-olds with baby hair, 60-year-olds with baby hair, a 60-year-old woman with baby hair. They're giving them made up. I call it made up, not makeup. They're giving them made up for them to come on TV talking about, I feel like I'm 30. You look 60, lady. But y'all have children mentalities. The Democrats have programmed us, people, for so long that people live above their means, act in the wrong way how they're not supposed to act, project the wrong image, and society's seeing it. The world is seeing it. But we have to understand that until we take responsibility of this and turn it around so the world knows that that's not who we are. Only we could change that. Only we could change the narrative. Some of these so-called leaders only show up when it's a black on a white on black crime, but they don't show up when it's a black on black crime. Shh. They don't show up for that. They don't go to the corner and talk to these young black men and tell them, listen, we have a job for you guys. You see, it's funny because these guys got to be good math heads, not meth heads, but math heads, because they know how to sell you a gram and know how much they're supposed to get back. They know when you short them to get the money. They know when you short them. But so imagine if we invest in them and show them a different light and a different way, how better they would be. To show the world that they're all not like this. People actually think the things that they see in movies is actually real. I have a young lady a couple of years ago, she was telling me about this movie, and I was saying to her, you don't think something is wrong that this is a 110-pound woman flipping a 300-pound man? And she says she knows people that have done that. In dreams it may have been done, but that's not real. So I say to everybody,